Hello friend, and welcome to Science for Sleep. Tonight, we will be exploring the loyal world of dogs. These steady companions have lived alongside humans for thousands of years, and their presence has become woven into daily life in a way that can feel almost timeless. With their familiar footsteps, patient attention, and quiet watchfulness, dogs have earned a place not only in our homes, but in our routines and our memories. They are playful and gentle, alert and restful, eager for connection, yet capable of long stretches of calm. The story of dogs is ancient and enduring, shaped by shared paths, shared shelters, and the simple comfort of staying close. If you enjoy these quiet explorations, I invite you to like and subscribe or share a simple thought down in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. But for now, all you need to do is rest, settle in, and allow the calm presence of dogs to carry you gently towards sleep. Let's begin. Dogs have walked beside humans for a very long time. Long before written history, early wolves began to linger near human camps, drawn by warmth, scraps of food, and the steady activity of people. Over generations, those animals that could tolerate human closeness and read human behavior without fear were more likely to remain nearby. This relationship deepened slowly. Some dogs became partners in work, helping humans hunt, guard, and travel. Others simply stayed close, living at the edges of campfires and along the boundaries of villages, learning the patterns of human life through repeated exposure. A shared rhythm formed, shaped by mornings and evenings, by movement and stillness, by the predictable sounds of a settled place. Today, dogs still carry that history in the way they watch a room, the way they rest without fully disconnecting, and the way they notice small changes that humans often overlook. A dog may appear to be doing nothing at all, lying quietly in a familiar spot, yet its senses remain lightly engaged. Scent moves through the air. Footsteps change direction. A distant sound appears and fades. Much of it is registered without urgency. This quiet awareness is part of what makes dogs feel steady. They are built for proximity. Not constant interaction, but simple closeness. In the presence of familiar people, many dogs settle into an ease that looks almost effortless, as if calm is something the body remembers. And in a way, it is. Dogs spend much of the day resting, often more than people expect, often more than people notice. An adult dog may sleep anywhere from 12 to 14 hours within a 24-hour period, sometimes more depending on age, breed, and environment. This pattern is not unusual, and it is not a sign of inactivity or disengagement. It reflects a biological rhythm that has been shaped over thousands of years. In early canine life, rest was not separate from survival. Dogs evolved in conditions where energy needed to be conserved between moments of movement, travel, or alertness. Sleeping for long periods allowed the body to recover, maintain strength, and remain prepared without unnecessary expenditure. This pattern remains visible today. When a dog lies down for extended stretches of time, the body is not shutting down. Muscles release tension, breathing slows, the heart rate decreases, yet the nervous system stays lightly connected to the surrounding environment. This balance between rest and readiness is central to canine sleep. Dogs do not sleep in a single, uninterrupted block the way humans often do. Instead, they move through shorter cycles of light and deeper sleep, waking briefly to adjust position, register sounds, or respond to familiar movements nearby. These small awakenings are part of a natural rhythm rather than a disruption. Research into canine sleep patterns shows that dogs enter lighter stages of sleep more frequently than humans. During these stages, the brain remains responsive to external cues, especially those associated with safety or familiarity. A known voice, a familiar step, or a routine sound can be recognized without fully waking. This form of rest allows dogs to remain connected while still recovering energy. In environments where dogs lived alongside humans, this pattern offered a clear advantage. Staying close to the group while resting meant remaining protected. Full disengagement would have carried risk, while constant alertness would have been exhausting. Sleep, for dogs, became a flexible state rather than a fixed one. Puppies and older dogs often sleep even more than adults. Puppies sleep extensively as their bodies grow and their nervous systems develop. During sleep, neural connections strengthen, muscles recover, and sensory experiences from waking hours are integrated. Older dogs, on the other hand, sleep more as their bodies require longer periods of recovery and regulation. Breed also plays a role. Larger breeds often sleep longer due to higher energy demands and slower metabolic rates, while smaller breeds may cycle between activity and rest more frequently. Working breeds, even when not actively working, often maintain a rhythm that includes substantial rest between periods of focus. Despite these differences, the underlying pattern remains consistent. Dogs rest often because their bodies are designed to. A dog resting in a familiar space is usually experiencing a state of low vigilance rather than inactivity. The body recognizes the environment as stable. Known scents, familiar sounds, and predictable movement patterns reduce the need for heightened awareness. As uncertainty decreases, the nervous system allows deeper relaxation. This is why dogs often choose the same sleeping spots repeatedly. Familiar locations provide consistent sensory information. The floor feels the same. The air smells the same. The sounds follow predictable rhythms. Each repeated experience reinforces safety, making rest easier and more complete. Sleep also plays a role in emotional regulation for dogs. Studies suggest that adequate rest supports balanced behavior, steady attention, and resilience to stress. When dogs are well rested, they are better able to remain calm in familiar environments and adapt to small changes without distress. This does not require conscious effort. The body regulates itself through repetition. Dogs may sleep through much of the day, but their rest often aligns with human activity. They tend to become more alert during times when people are moving, preparing food, or changing routines. When the household settles, dogs often settle as well, returning to rest without hesitation. This synchronization reflects years of shared living. Over time, dogs learned that long periods of inactivity were normal. Waiting was not a problem to solve, but a state to inhabit. Rest became a default rather than a reward. In modern homes, this pattern remains visible. A dog may spend hours resting while nothing changes in the environment. There is no restlessness, no search for stimulation, no sense of anticipation. The body simply remains at ease. From the outside, this can appear as stillness. From within, it is balance. Sleep allows the dog's systems to reset gently and repeatedly throughout the day. Muscles recover from small movements. Sensory input is processed and released. The nervous system returns to baseline. Each cycle prepares the body for the next moment of activity, however small it may be. Dogs do not measure sleep in terms of productivity or efficiency. There is no expectation attached to it. Rest is not something to earn or justify. It is simply part of the natural rhythm of being alive. This is why dogs often seem comfortable doing very little. Their bodies recognize rest as useful, not empty. There is no internal pressure to remain active once the environment signals safety. As a result, sleep becomes frequent, gentle, and unremarkable. A dog resting quietly nearby is not withdrawing from the world. It is participating in it in a different way. Dogs often choose to sleep near humans, sometimes very close, sometimes just within the same room. This behavior is so common that it rarely stands out. A dog resting at the foot of a bed, beside a chair, or along a familiar wall often appears to be doing nothing more than finding a comfortable place to lie down. Yet this preference reflects a pattern shaped by long familiarity and repeated safety. Sleeping near others was once a protective behavior. Early dogs that remained close to their group benefited from shared warmth, shared awareness, and reduced risk. Separation increased vulnerability, while proximity allowed rest to occur without complete disengagement from the environment. This pattern remains embedded in canine behavior. When a dog sleeps near a familiar person, the surrounding sensory information is predictable. The sounds are known. The scent is familiar. Movement follows recognizable rhythms. These conditions reduce uncertainty, allowing the body to settle more fully into rest. Dogs do not need constant interaction to feel secure. In many cases, simple proximity is enough. Being nearby allows the dog to maintain awareness without vigilance, resting while still remaining connected to the presence of the group. This does not require attention or effort. The body responds automatically. A dog sleeping near humans often enters lighter stages of sleep more easily than it would in an unfamiliar location. The nervous system recognizes the environment as stable, reducing the need for heightened alertness. Breathing slows, muscles relax. The body shifts into recovery. At the same time, the ability to wake easily remains intact. Familiar sounds, such as a change in breathing, a quiet movement, or a known voice, can be registered without alarm. This balance allows dogs to rest deeply while remaining part of their surroundings. In shared spaces, this pattern becomes habitual. Over time, dogs learn where rest feels safest. These locations are not always the most physically comfortable. Instead, they are places where sensory information remains consistent. The presence of familiar people reinforces this consistency, turning proximity into a signal of stability. This is why dogs often return to the same sleeping areas repeatedly. The environment has already been assessed. The sensory landscape is known. There is nothing new to interpret. Sleeping near humans also supports emotional regulation. Studies in animal behavior suggest that dogs experience lower stress levels when resting in familiar social environments. Heart rate variability, a marker of calm regulation, tends to increase in settings where dogs feel secure and supported by routine presence. This effect does not depend on physical contact. Simply being nearby is often enough. Some dogs choose to sleep touching a person, while others remain a short distance away. Both behaviors reflect the same underlying process. The exact distance varies by individual temperament, early experiences, and learned comfort. But the preference for shared space remains consistent. Dogs that rest near humans are not necessarily seeking attention. Often, they are choosing predictability. A human's presence provides a stable reference point within the environment. Movement patterns, breathing rhythms, and daily routines all become part of the dog's sensory map. This shared rhythm supports rest. Dogs evolved in social groups where isolation was rare. Rest occurred within the presence of others, not apart from them. Modern homes replicate this structure, offering enclosed spaces, repeated routines, and familiar companions. The dog's nervous system recognizes these conditions and responds accordingly. When a dog settles near humans, there is no anticipation attached to the moment. There is no expectation of reward or interaction. The body simply recognizes that the conditions for rest are present. This is why dogs may lie down near people, even when nothing is happening. There is no boredom to resolve. There is only familiarity. Sleeping near humans also allows dogs to remain oriented within the environment. Even during rest, they can sense changes in sound, temperature, or movement. This low-level awareness supports a smooth transition between rest and alertness when needed, without sudden shifts. The dog does not need to choose when to wake. The environment signals it naturally. Over time, this pattern becomes deeply ingrained. Proximity becomes associated with calm. Calm becomes associated with rest. Rest becomes easier to enter and easier to leave. This cycle reinforces itself. Dogs that sleep near humans often appear deeply relaxed. Their bodies stretch out. Their breathing becomes slow and regular. Small adjustments occur as they settle more fully into comfort. These movements are not signs of disturbance, but of the body finding balance. In these moments, the dog is not focused outward or inward. Awareness remains broad and diffuse, allowing rest to occur without effort. This state reflects a long history of shared living. Humans and dogs adapted to one another not through constant interaction, but through extended periods of simply being near. Shared space allowed both species to rest, recover, and remain aware together. Over time, this quiet coexistence became familiar. Today, that familiarity remains visible in the simplest moments. A dog sleeping nearby is not asking for anything. It is responding to what has already been established. Safety, familiarity, presence. These signals allow rest to unfold naturally, without instruction or intent. Dogs often follow humans from room to room. Not quickly, not urgently, simply as a quiet continuation of closeness. A dog may rise when a person stands, walk a short distance behind, then lie down again in the new space. The movement can look casual, almost automatic, as if the body has decided on its own that the next room is the place to be. In many homes, this happens so often it becomes part of the background, noticed only when it stops. This behavior has deep roots in social living. dogs evolved in groups where distance mattered. Remaining within range of others provided warmth, protection, and information. It reduced the need to constantly scan for danger alone. In a pack environment, proximity is not a dramatic expression. It is an ordinary condition, a default arrangement that makes rest and awareness easier. When a dog follows a human around the home, it is often a modern version of that same pattern. The human becomes a stable point in the environment, a familiar presence that anchors the dog's sense of what is normal. This does not always mean the dog wants attention. Often, it means the dog prefers predictability. A familiar person carries consistent sensory signals. The scent is recognizable. The footsteps have a certain rhythm. The movement is generally understandable. When the dog stays close, the environment becomes easier to interpret because one of its most important elements remains nearby. In this way, following can be less about desire and more about orientation. Dogs are highly sensitive to small changes in routine. A shift in posture, a pause before walking, the sound of a door opening, the movement of keys or clothing. These are all cues that something is changing. Many dogs respond to these cues by staying near, not because they know what will happen next, but because being close allows them to track the change without effort. The dog does not need to solve anything. It only needs to remain aware. Following also reflects a form of low-level monitoring that can exist without anxiety. A dog can be calm and still pay attention. The nervous system can stay regulated while remaining lightly engaged. In a stable home, following does not necessarily signal restlessness. It can simply be the dog maintaining connection to the flow of the day. This becomes especially visible when the dog follows and then immediately lies down again. The behavior is not a request. It is not a demand. It is an adjustment, a gentle relocation that preserves closeness while returning to rest. In many cases, dogs do this even when the new room offers no obvious advantage. The floor is the same. The temperature is similar. Nothing is being offered. Yet the dog still chooses to be there. The simplest explanation is often the most accurate. Dogs are social animals, and proximity is one of the ways social animals maintain stability. Early experiences can reinforce this pattern. Dogs that grew up in environments where closeness was consistently associated with safety may develop a strong preference for being near familiar people. The association does not need to be conscious. It forms through repetition. Each time the dog is near a trusted person and nothing bad happens, the nervous system stores that as a useful pattern. Over time, closeness becomes part of the dog's baseline. The dog follows not because something is wrong, but because the body has learned that proximity is a reliable state. Dogs also communicate through movement. In canine social behavior, repositioning can be a form of quiet coordination. Group members adjust their spacing without conflict, maintaining awareness of one another, without needing vocal signals. A dog that follows through the house may simply be maintaining that coordination, matching distance and direction as part of a shared routine. This coordination can look like loyalty, and in a way it is, but it is expressed as steadiness rather than intensity. There is no dramatic display. There is only the repeated decision to remain nearby. Some dogs choose a short distance instead of direct closeness. They may follow into the room, then settle near a doorway or along a wall, keeping the person within view or within hearing range. This allows the dog to remain connected while maintaining its own space. The distance itself can be part of the dog's comfort, not a sign of detachment. The key feature is not closeness measured in inches. It is continuity. Following preserves continuity in a changing environment. A home contains many small transitions. Lights change, sounds shift, doors open and close. People move between tasks. For a dog, staying near the main source of routine can make these transitions smoother. It reduces uncertainty. It reduces the need to reevaluate each space independently. The dog does not have to wonder where the group is. It already knows. Over time, this creates a simple rhythm. Movement, then rest. Relocation, then settling. Awareness without strain. A dog following quietly is not always trying to arrive somewhere. Sometimes it is simply staying within the calm orbit of what is familiar. Dogs often sit or lie still and watch, their bodies relaxed, their eyes open. This behavior can last for long stretches of time. A dog may remain in the same position, observing a room, a doorway, or a familiar space without shifting or signaling. From the outside, it can appear as though nothing is happening. Yet this quiet watching reflects a natural state of awareness that does not require movement or action. In canine behavior, attention does not always lead to response. Dogs evolved to monitor their surroundings without expending unnecessary energy. Watching quietly allowed them to remain informed about their environment while conserving strength for moments when action was actually needed. This balance remains present today. When a dog watches without moving, the nervous system is engaged at a low level. Sensory information continues to arrive, but it is processed without urgency. Sounds, scents, and small movements are registered and then released. There is no need to fixate, anticipate, or interpret more than necessary. This form of attention is different from alertness driven by threat. The body remains calm. Muscles stay loose. Breathing remains steady. The dog is not preparing to act, only remaining aware. Vision plays an important role in this process. Dogs have a visual system adapted to detect motion rather than fine detail. Slow or familiar movements do not demand immediate response, allowing the dog to watch passively. Only sudden or unfamiliar changes tend to draw focused attention. This means a dog can watch for extended periods without becoming overstimulated. Quiet observation also supports social awareness. In group living species, watching others provides information about safety, routine, and change. A dog observing people in the home can track daily patterns without interfering with them. This allows the dog to remain integrated into the group while staying at rest. Over time, watching becomes part of how dogs stay oriented. A dog lying quietly in a room is often aware of who is present, where they are, and what they are doing, even without direct interaction. This awareness does not require eye contact or movement. It exists as a broad sense of the environment rather than a focused task. This state is efficient. The dog remains informed without becoming tense. Quiet watching is also influenced by familiarity. In known environments, the sensory landscape is predictable. The dog already understands the space. Watching confirms that nothing has changed. Each moment of sameness reinforces calm, making extended stillness comfortable rather than difficult. This is why dogs often watch most intently in familiar places. There is no need to investigate or explore. Observation alone is sufficient. Dogs that watch quietly are not waiting for something to happen. There is no internal countdown or expectation attached to the behavior. The watching itself is complete. It does not lead anywhere. This differs from human attention, which often seeks resolution. For dogs, awareness does not require outcome. Neurological studies suggest that dogs can maintain attention without cognitive strain. Their brains are well adapted to monitoring environments over long periods without fatigue. This allows them to remain present without becoming restless or overwhelmed by sensory input. In natural settings, this capacity supported survival. A dog that could remain aware without reacting conserved energy and avoided unnecessary exposure. Remaining still also reduced visibility, allowing the dog to observe without being noticed. These patterns persist even in safe environments. Modern dogs no longer need to watch for predators or rivals, but the underlying system remains the same. Quiet observation continues because it is efficient, not because it is needed. This is why dogs may watch spaces where nothing happens. A hallway, a doorway, a familiar window. The watching itself does not require justification. It is simply a state the body knows how to maintain. Dogs often shift their gaze slowly rather than abruptly. Their attention moves gently, following changes in sound or motion without locking onto them. This soft focus allows awareness to remain flexible rather than fixed. When nothing changes, the body stays at ease. When something does change, the response emerges naturally. Quiet watching also allows dogs to stay connected to people without interaction. They can observe from a distance, maintaining awareness of shared space while remaining at rest. This supports a sense of togetherness without demand. There is no need to approach, no need to withdraw, only presence. Over time, this behavior becomes familiar to those who live with dogs. It blends into daily life. A dog watching quietly becomes part of the atmosphere of a room, as unobtrusive as furniture or light. Yet beneath that stillness, systems continue to function smoothly. The dog's body remains balanced. The senses remain open. The environment remains understood. Nothing needs to happen for this state to continue. A dog watching quietly is not idle. It is simply at ease within awareness. Dogs are shaped by routine, not rigidly, quietly. Daily patterns form around them without needing to be taught. Morning light, familiar footsteps, repeated sounds, and the predictable rhythm of movement through a space all become part of how a dog understands the world. Over time, these patterns require less and less attention. The environment becomes known. This familiarity supports calm. Dogs evolved in environments where consistency mattered. Changes in routine often signal shifts in safety, availability of resources, or movement of the group. Recognizing patterns allowed dogs to anticipate what was likely to happen next without constant monitoring. When patterns held steady, the nervous system could relax. This biological preference for predictability remains. In modern homes, routine appears in simple ways. Meals arrive at similar times. Doors open and close in familiar sequences. Lights dim in the evening. Voices follow recognizable rhythms. Even when nothing is consciously noticed, these repeated signals shape the dog's internal sense of stability. The body learns what to expect. When expectations are met, there is no need for heightened alertness. Dogs do not require complex schedules to benefit from routine. Even loose patterns are enough. What matters most is repetition. Each repeated experience strengthens the association between environment and safety, making it easier for the dog to settle. This is why dogs often rest more deeply in familiar homes than in new places. In unfamiliar environments, the senses must remain active longer. New scents, new sounds, and unpredictable movement require attention. In known spaces, much of this work has already been done. Predictability reduces effort. Routine also supports emotional regulation. When the environment behaves as expected, the dog's nervous system spends less time scanning for change. Energy is conserved. Stress responses remain low. Calm becomes the default rather than something to achieve. This does not mean dogs resist change. It means they benefit from stability. Small deviations within a familiar routine are easily absorbed. A delayed walk, a quieter afternoon, a different sound in the house. These changes are noticed, but they do not overwhelm the system because the broader pattern remains intact. The body responds proportionally. Dogs often show their connection to routine through anticipation. They may move toward a familiar area at a certain time of day or become alert when a known sequence begins. This anticipation is not impatience. It is recognition. The environment is behaving as expected. Recognition brings ease. In social species, shared routines also strengthen group cohesion. When individuals move, rest, and transition together, the group remains coordinated without constant communication. Dogs carry this tendency into human environments, aligning their rhythms with the people around them. This alignment happens gradually. A dog living with humans learns the household's tempo. Active periods are followed by rest. Movement gives way to stillness. Over time, these cycles repeat. The dog does not need to be guided through them. The body adjusts naturally. Routine becomes a framework within which the dog can relax. Predictability also influences attention. In stable environments, attention can remain broad rather than focused. The dog does not need to track every detail. Instead, awareness stays open and relaxed, allowing the dog to remain present without strain. This supports behaviors like quiet watching and resting nearby. Routine provides context. When a sound occurs within a known pattern, it is less likely to trigger alarm. The dog recognizes the sound as part of the usual environment. When something falls outside the pattern, it stands out more clearly. This selective sensitivity allows dogs to respond appropriately without constant vigilance. The system becomes efficient. Over time, routine shapes how dogs experience time itself. Periods of activity and rest blend smoothly into one another. There is no sense of urgency attached to transitions. Each phase arrives when it arrives, without needing to be rushed. This temporal steadiness supports calm. Dogs do not measure time abstractly. They experience it through change and repetition. When change follows familiar paths, time feels manageable. When repetition holds, the body remains settled. This is why dogs often appear comfortable doing very little between predictable events. Waiting is not a problem to solve. It is simply part of the rhythm. In familiar routines, nothing needs to be forced. The body knows when to rest. The body knows when to move. The body responds when the environment shifts. Routine allows these responses to remain smooth and proportional. A dog resting within a familiar pattern is not disengaged. It is supported by what has already been learned. Predictability does not limit the dog's world. It stabilizes it. And within that stability, calm emerges naturally, without effort or intention. For dogs, scent shapes the world. While humans rely most heavily on vision, dogs experience their surroundings primarily through smell. Air carries information long before anything can be seen or heard. Each breath contains traces of what has passed through a space, who has been there, and how recently they moved. This sensory priority developed early. Dogs evolved with an olfactory system far more sensitive than that of humans. They possess hundreds of millions of scent receptors, allowing them to detect subtle chemical differences that remain invisible to other senses. What feels like empty air to a person may feel layered and detailed to a dog. This does not require effort. Breathing alone is enough. Scent provides dogs with context. It reveals identity, emotional state, and history. A familiar scent signals safety. An unfamiliar one invites awareness. Over time, dogs learn the scent patterns of their environment, just as humans learn visual landmarks. Homes develop their own scent profiles. Floors, furniture, clothing, and air currents all carry recognizable information. Dogs moving through these spaces are not discovering them repeatedly. They are confirming what is already known. This confirmation supports calm. Scent perception allows dogs to orient themselves without needing to move. Even while resting, a dog can detect subtle changes in the air. A door opening in another room, a person entering the home, a shift in familiar activity. Much of this information arrives before sound or sight. This early awareness reduces surprise. When changes are detected gradually, the nervous system has time to remain regulated. There is no sudden demand for action. The body stays at ease while remaining informed. Dogs process scent in a way that is closely tied to memory. Smell connects directly to brain regions involved in emotion and recognition. This allows dogs to associate specific scents with experiences without needing conscious recall. Familiarity is registered immediately. This is why dogs often respond to scent without hesitation. Recognition happens below awareness. Over time, repeated exposure strengthens these associations. The scent of a person, a place, or routine becomes part of the dog's internal map of the world. When these scents are present, the environment feels complete. When they are absent, something feels unfinished. This sensory mapping helps explain why dogs are often calm in known spaces and more alert in new ones. In unfamiliar environments, scent information has not yet been catalogued. The air carries unknown signals. The body remains attentive until patterns begin to repeat. Once repetition occurs, ease follows. Dogs also use scent to understand time. Unlike vision or sound, scent lingers. A trail tells a story of what has already happened. This allows dogs to experience the past as part of the present environment. Information remains available long after movement has stopped. This continuity supports orientation. The dog does not need to imagine where something went. The scent remains as evidence. In shared living spaces, this creates a sense of constancy. Even when people leave a room, their presence remains detectable. For a dog, separation does not feel absolute. The environment still carries traces of the familiar. This softens absence. Scent perception also operates quietly. Dogs do not need to focus on smell the way humans focus on sight. The process is continuous and automatic. Each breath updates the internal map without drawing attention to itself. This allows awareness to remain broad and relaxed. There is no need to search. Resting dogs continue to receive scent information even during light sleep. The olfactory system remains active, contributing to the dog's ability to stay oriented while resting. This supports smooth transitions between sleep and wakefulness without alarm. The environment communicates steadily. In this way, scent becomes a stabilizing sense. It fills gaps. It reduces uncertainty. It provides reassurance through familiarity rather than stimulation. Dogs do not analyze what they smell. They simply register it. Over time, scent becomes part of how dogs remain settled in their surroundings. Familiar air signals that nothing has changed. The body stays calm. New scents are noted without urgency unless they persist or intensify. This layered awareness allows dogs to exist comfortably within complex environments without becoming overwhelmed. For humans, much of this process remains unseen. A dog lying quietly may appear disengaged, yet its sensory systems are gently active, maintaining connection through scent alone. Nothing needs to happen for this to continue. A dog breathing in familiar air is already informed, already oriented, already at ease. Dogs sniff frequently, often without pausing, often without changing direction. This behavior is one of the most visible expressions of how dogs gather information. Sniffing is not a distraction or a delay. It is a primary way dogs understand their surroundings. Each inhalation brings in layers of data that are processed continuously, even while the dog remains calm. Unlike humans, who rely heavily on sight, dogs interpret the world through chemical signals. Sniffing allows them to separate and analyze these signals with precision. Air, ground, and objects all carry distinct scent patterns that reveal identity, movement, and change. This process does not require effort. It happens automatically. Dogs possess a specialized nasal structure that allows them to direct air differently during inhalation and exhalation. This design keeps scent molecules circulating within the nasal cavity longer, increasing sensitivity. As a result, each sniff delivers a detailed snapshot of the environment. Sniffing also supports memory. Scent information connects directly to areas of the brain involved in recognition and emotional association. When a dog sniffs a familiar area, it is not rediscovering it. It is confirming what has already been learned. This confirmation reinforces stability. Dogs often sniff more in unfamiliar environments. New places contain unfamiliar chemical signatures that have not yet been catalogued. The dog's attention naturally shifts toward gathering this information until patterns begin to repeat. As familiarity increases, the need for focused sniffing decreases. This is why dogs may sniff intensely during the first visit to a location and much less during subsequent visits. The environment becomes known. The sensory map fills in. Sniffing also provides information about time. Scent trails linger, allowing dogs to detect who passed through a space and how recently. This temporal awareness allows dogs to experience continuity without needing to see movement directly. The past remains present. In daily routines, dogs sniff objects and areas they have encountered many times before. This is not redundant. Each sniff updates the internal record, confirming that nothing has changed. Familiar scents reassure the nervous system, signaling that the environment remains stable. Stability supports calm. Sniffing also occurs during rest. Even when a dog is lying down, the nose continues to register information from the surrounding air. This ongoing intake allows the dog to remain oriented without lifting its head or shifting position. The body stays relaxed while awareness continues. Dogs do not evaluate scent information consciously. There is no decision-making involved. The nervous system absorbs and filters the information automatically, responding only when a change exceeds a familiar threshold. This filtering prevents overload. Not every scent demands attention. Most are noted and released without reaction. Only persistent or novel signals rise above the background. This selective awareness allows dogs to remain settled even in complex environments. Sniffing also plays a role in communication. Chemical signals left by other animals convey identity, status, and emotional state. Dogs learn to interpret these signals without needing direct interaction. Information is exchanged silently, without movement or sound. This reduces the need for confrontation. In shared spaces, sniffing helps dogs maintain orientation within a group. The presence of familiar individuals can be detected through scent alone, even when they are not visible. This contributes to the sense of closeness that does not require constant contact. The environment feels populated rather than empty. Over time, sniffing becomes part of how dogs experience the world at a steady pace. Movement slows, attention deepens. Each step is accompanied by sensory confirmation. This pacing has a regulating effect. Studies in animal behavior suggest that sniffing can lower arousal levels in dogs, supporting relaxation. The rhythmic nature of sniffing, combined with familiar scent patterns, encourages the nervous system to remain balanced. This is why sniffing often appears during calm moments rather than only during excitement. Sniffing does not interrupt rest, it extends it. A dog sniffing quietly is not searching for something new. It is staying connected to what is already known. Each breath reinforces familiarity. Each pause confirms stability. In this way, sniffing allows dogs to remain present without effort, gathering information without urgency, and moving through their surroundings with steady ease. Dogs hear more than they react to. Much more. Their auditory system is finely tuned to detect sounds that fall outside the range of human hearing. Higher frequencies, softer signals, and distant noises all remain accessible to the dog long before they register as meaningful to people. This sensitivity developed over time as part of a broader system designed to maintain awareness without constant movement. Dogs possess a wider auditory range than humans, allowing them to detect high-pitched and faint sounds with ease. This does not mean they are always listening actively. Instead, the ears remain open as part of a background process, receiving information without demanding attention. Hearing, for dogs, is continuous rather than selective. Sound reaches the body whether it is attended to or not. The structure of a dog's ears supports this form of awareness. Many dogs can move their ears independently, adjusting their position to locate the source of a sound without shifting their body. This directional hearing allows the dog to orient itself quickly while remaining still. A small adjustment is often enough. When a sound is familiar, it blends into the background. Footsteps, doors, voices, and household noises become part of the known environment. The nervous system recognizes these patterns and allows them to pass without response. This filtering supports calm. Unfamiliar or sudden sounds stand out more clearly because they break the established pattern. The dog does not need to search for them. The auditory system highlights them automatically, allowing awareness to sharpen only when necessary. This process conserves energy. Dogs do not treat every sound as important. Most auditory information is noted and released. Only sounds that differ in tone, timing, or direction rise above the background. This selective sensitivity allows dogs to remain relaxed even in environments filled with noise. In shared living spaces, this ability becomes especially useful. Homes contain many overlapping sounds that change throughout the day. Appliances turn on and off. People move between rooms. Outside noises drift in and fade away. A dog remains settled by recognizing which sounds belong to the environment and which require attention. Recognition reduces uncertainty. Dogs can also detect sounds from farther away than humans. Distant movement, approaching footsteps, or subtle shifts in air pressure may be heard long before they become visible. This early awareness allows the body to adjust gradually rather than abruptly. There is time to remain calm. Hearing also contributes to spatial understanding. The direction, distance, and movement of sound provide information about what is happening beyond the dog's immediate field of vision. This creates a sense of continuity, allowing the dog to remain oriented even when not actively observing. Sound fills in the gaps. While resting, a dog's auditory system remains lightly active. Even during sleep, certain sounds can be registered without fully waking the body. Familiar noises are often ignored, while unfamiliar ones may cause brief alertness before the dog settles again. This balance supports rest without disconnection. The dog does not need to choose when to listen. Listening happens automatically. Over time, repeated exposure strengthens auditory familiarity. Sounds that once drew attention gradually lose significance as they become part of the expected environment. This adaptation allows dogs to live comfortably in human spaces without becoming overstimulated. The nervous system learns what matters. Dogs also respond to tone rather than words. The emotional quality of sound carries information independent of language. A calm voice, a sudden shift in volume, or a change in rhythm can be registered immediately. This sensitivity supports social awareness without requiring conscious interpretation. This is not emotional analysis. It is pattern recognition. When the environment remains steady, sound fades into the background. When something changes, awareness rises briefly and then settles again. This flexibility allows dogs to remain both calm and responsive without effort. Quiet alertness becomes the default. A dog lying still with ears relaxed is not disconnected. It is listening broadly, allowing sound to pass through awareness without holding on to it. Nothing needs to be followed. Nothing needs to be resolved. Sound arrives, is registered, and moves on. In this way, hearing supports a state of ease. Awareness remains open without becoming tense. The dog stays connected to the environment while remaining at rest. A distant sound does not demand movement. A familiar noise does not interrupt calm. The auditory world flows gently around the dog, providing information without urgency and allowing rest to continue uninterrupted. Dogs communicate constantly without using words. Most of the time, this communication goes unnoticed. Posture, ear position, tail movement, and the way the body holds itself all carry information. These signals are subtle and continuous, forming a quiet language that operates beneath conscious attention. Dogs do not pause to decide what they are expressing. Their bodies speak automatically. This form of communication developed long before dogs lived with humans. In social groups, clear signaling reduced conflict and supported coordination. A slight shift in posture could indicate comfort or tension. A change in ear position could signal curiosity or uncertainty. These signals allowed dogs to understand one another without noise or confrontation. The system remains intact. When a dog stands with a relaxed body, weight evenly distributed, and muscles loose, it is signaling ease. There is no readiness for action. The body has no need to prepare. In familiar environments, this posture appears frequently, blending into stillness. Ears play an important role in this language. Forward-facing ears can indicate interest or attention, while ears held back or lowered often reflect caution or uncertainty. These positions are not fixed states. They shift moment to moment in response to subtle changes in the environment. The ears respond before thought. Tail movement adds another layer. The position of the tail, the speed of its movement, and the direction it moves all contribute to meaning. A tail held high carries different information than one held low. Slow movement differs from rapid motion. Each variation adjusts the signal being sent. This complexity often leads to misunderstanding. Humans tend to focus on single gestures rather than the whole body. A wagging tail may be interpreted as friendliness, while other signals, such as stiffness or averted gaze, are overlooked. Dogs, however, read these signals together. The entire body provides context. Communication, for dogs, is holistic. A dog's body rarely sends mixed messages. When the body is relaxed, signals align. When the body is tense, signals converge around that state. This coherence allows other dogs to respond appropriately without confusion. Dogs do not exaggerate their signals. They are designed to be efficient, not dramatic. A small adjustment is often enough to communicate change. The system works best when signals remain understated. In stable environments, this language becomes especially quiet. Dogs resting or moving calmly through familiar spaces continue to communicate, even when nothing appears to be happening. A shift in weight, a turn of the head, a brief glance. These movements maintain connection without interrupting rest. This ongoing communication supports social awareness. Dogs also use distance as part of their language. Moving closer or farther away can convey comfort, uncertainty, or preference without physical contact. A dog that chooses to lie a few feet away may be expressing ease rather than avoidance. Distance, like posture, carries meaning. Because this language is automatic, dogs do not need to monitor it. The body responds as needed, adjusting signals continuously. There is no effort involved in maintaining communication. It unfolds naturally as part of being present. This is why dogs can appear expressive without appearing busy. In interactions with humans, dogs apply the same system. They read posture, movement, and tone rather than words alone. A person leaning forward, pausing, or shifting weight may communicate more than speech. Dogs respond to these signals instinctively. This sensitivity developed through proximity, not instruction. Dogs that lived closely with humans learned to interpret human body language as part of their environment. Over time, this ability became refined. Dogs that could read subtle cues were better able to navigate shared spaces calmly. The process required no conscious learning. Early experiences influence how dogs use body language. Dogs exposed to stable, predictable interactions tend to develop smoother, more consistent signaling. Those raised in uncertain environments may display more pronounced signals as the body compensates for unpredictability. Even then, the system remains functional. Body language allows dogs to communicate without escalating situations. A slight turn away can reduce tension. A relaxed posture can signal safety. These small adjustments help maintain balance within social groups. This balance supports calm coexistence. In familiar settings, body language often fades into the background. Dogs do not need to signal strongly when nothing is changing. The absence of pronounced signals is itself a sign of comfort. Stillness becomes meaningful. A dog lying quietly, body loose and posture open, is communicating ease. There is no need to ask for attention or assert presence. The message has already been delivered. Understanding this language does not require interpretation in the moment. It simply unfolds as part of shared space. Dogs do not explain themselves. They do not clarify intent. Their bodies speak continuously, offering information without demand. And when the environment remains steady, that language grows softer, blending into calm and allowing both communication and rest to exist at the same time. Dogs move their tails often, sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. This movement is one of the most recognizable aspects of canine behavior, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Tail motion is not a single signal with a single meaning. It is a flexible system of communication shaped by anatomy, balance, and emotional state. The tail developed as part of the dog's physical structure. It supports balance during movement, especially when turning, running, or changing direction. Subtle tail adjustments help stabilize the body, distributing weight smoothly and maintaining coordination. This mechanical role remains present even when the dog is still. When a dog shifts position or adjusts posture, the tail often moves slightly to support balance. These movements may be barely noticeable, but they are part of how the body maintains alignment without effort. Beyond balance, the tail functions as a signaling tool. Its position, speed, and direction all contribute information. A tail held high conveys something different from one held low. A slow, relaxed movement differs from a rapid, stiff motion. Each variation reflects a different internal state. This is why tail wagging does not always indicate happiness. Dogs use tail movement to communicate arousal levels rather than simple emotion. A relaxed wag often appears loose and fluid, involving the whole body. More rigid or rapid movements can reflect heightened alertness or uncertainty. The context in which the wag occurs matters as much as the movement itself. Dogs interpret these signals automatically. They do not isolate the tail from the rest of the body. Posture, facial tension, ear position, and movement all provide context. The tail simply adds another layer to a broader message. Humans, however, tend to focus on the tail alone. This narrow focus can lead to misinterpretation. A wagging tail may appear welcoming even when other signals suggest caution. Dogs rarely make this mistake with one another. Their communication system is integrated. The direction of tail movement can also carry information. Some research suggests that wagging biased to one side of the body may reflect different emotional processing within the brain. While these differences are subtle, they highlight the complexity of tail signaling as more than a simple expression. Even stillness can be meaningful. A tail held motionless in a relaxed position often signals ease. There is no need to communicate change. The environment feels stable. Movement becomes unnecessary. In familiar settings, tail movement tends to soften. Dogs resting or moving calmly through known spaces often display minimal tail activity. The absence of motion reflects the absence of demand. Nothing needs to be signaled. Dogs do not wag their tails to entertain or perform. The movement is not intentional in that way. It arises naturally from internal state and environmental context. The body responds, and the tail follows. This automatic nature allows tail movement to remain honest. Signals are not calculated or exaggerated. They emerge as part of a continuous feedback loop between the dog and its surroundings. Over time, dogs learn how their signals are received. Interactions reinforce which movements maintain harmony and which lead to conflict. This learning refines expression without requiring conscious control. The tail becomes part of a familiar rhythm. In social settings, tail movement helps maintain spacing and coordination. Other dogs read these signals to decide whether to approach, pause, or remain at a distance. This reduces the need for vocalization or physical contact. The system supports calm interaction. When dogs live with humans, tail signals continue to operate even if they are not always understood. A dog may wag softly while resting nearby, reflecting comfort rather than excitement. These small movements often go unnoticed, yet they maintain connection. Tail movement also changes with age. Puppies often display broader, less controlled wags as they explore social interaction. Over time, movements become more refined. Older dogs may wag less frequently, conserving energy and responding only when needed. Despite these changes, the underlying system remains consistent. Tail movement reflects internal balance. A dog at ease does not need to communicate much. The tail may rest quietly, moving only in response to minor adjustments. This stillness is not absence. It is a sign that nothing requires expression. When something does change, the tail responds without delay. The signal appears, communicates its message, and fades when the environment returns to stability. There is no lingering emphasis. Tail movement rises and falls naturally, following the dog's experience moment by moment. It does not carry meaning beyond what is needed. A dog wagging its tail is not announcing a feeling. It is reflecting a state. And when that state is calm, the movement becomes softer, slower, or absent altogether, allowing the body to return to rest without interruption. The dog brain shares more with the human brain than is often assumed. While the size and structure differ, many of the underlying systems responsible for emotion, memory, and social behavior are organized in similar ways. These similarities did not develop by chance. They emerged through long periods of shared living, where understanding human behavior became useful for survival. Dogs did not need to think like humans. They needed to respond to them. At a structural level, dogs possess brain regions that support emotional processing in ways that closely resemble those found in humans. Areas involved in recognizing social cues, forming attachments, and responding to familiar individuals are active in both species. This allows dogs to navigate social environments without relying on language. Emotion, for dogs, is processed through patterns rather than reflection. The limbic system, which plays a central role in emotion and motivation, is well developed in dogs. This system responds to experiences as they occur, registering comfort, uncertainty, and familiarity without the need for interpretation. When an environment feels stable, the limbic system supports calm. When something changes, it adjusts quickly. This responsiveness is immediate. Dogs do not analyze their emotional states. They experience them as conditions that rise and fall naturally. This differs from human emotional processing, which often includes extended reflection. In dogs, the experience tends to resolve once the situation changes. Memory formation also follows a similar structure. Dogs form associations between experiences and outcomes, storing emotional context alongside sensory information. A place where calm has been experienced before is more likely to evoke calm again. A familiar presence supports the same effect. These associations strengthen with repetition. Neuroscientific research suggests that dogs process familiar human voices and faces in specialized regions of the brain. This allows recognition to occur quickly and without effort. The brain responds differently to familiar signals than to unfamiliar ones, supporting ease in known social environments. Recognition reduces cognitive demand. Over time, dogs learn to anticipate patterns in human behavior. This anticipation does not rely on reasoning, but on neural pathways shaped through repeated exposure. The brain becomes efficient at predicting what is likely to happen next, based on subtle cues. This efficiency supports calm coexistence. Dogs also show neural responses to emotional tone. Changes in voice, posture, or movement can influence brain activity without conscious awareness. These responses allow dogs to adjust their behavior smoothly, aligning with the emotional rhythm of their surroundings. This alignment does not require intention. It happens automatically. The similarity between dog and human brains does not mean they experience the world in the same way. Dogs process information with less emphasis on abstraction and more emphasis on immediate context. Their brains prioritize what is happening now rather than constructing narratives about what has happened before or what might happen later. This present-focused processing simplifies experience. Without extended internal commentary, emotional states pass more quickly. Calm returns when the environment stabilizes. There is no need to revisit previous moments once they have ended. Shared neurological foundations also support bonding. When dogs experience positive interactions with humans, neural pathways associated with reward and safety are reinforced. These pathways do not require reinforcement through constant interaction. The memory of safety persists, allowing dogs to remain relaxed even during quiet periods. This is why presence alone can be enough. Dogs do not need continual reassurance. Once familiarity is established, the brain maintains the association. The body responds accordingly. The dog brain also supports flexibility. Neural plasticity allows dogs to adapt to new environments, routines, and social groups over time. While change may temporarily increase awareness, the brain adjusts as new patterns repeat. Adjustment replaces vigilance. In familiar settings, brain activity reflects efficiency rather than intensity. Systems responsible for scanning and evaluation operate at a low level. Attention remains broad. The dog remains aware without becoming focused or tense. This balance is central to canine calm. The similarities between dog and human brains help explain why dogs integrate so smoothly into human life. Shared emotional processing allows mutual recognition of tone, comfort, and rhythm without explicit communication. Both species benefit from this overlap. The result is not constant interaction, but compatibility. Dogs do not mirror human emotion in a symbolic sense. They respond to it as part of their environment. The brain registers patterns and adjusts state accordingly. When the environment remains steady, the dog remains steady as well. This neurological alignment does not create complexity, it reduces it. A dog resting quietly nearby is not reflecting on its experience. Its brain is simply operating as designed, efficient, responsive, settled, and within that simplicity, calm is sustained without effort, allowing rest and awareness to coexist naturally. Dogs remember through association, not through reflection, not through narrative. Memory, for dogs, is closely tied to experience rather than recollection. Events are stored alongside the conditions in which they occurred. Sensations, locations, scents, and emotional states become linked, forming patterns that guide future responses. This system is efficient. When a dog encounters a familiar place, the body responds before conscious awareness. Calm experienced there before returns easily. The nervous system recognizes the setting and adjusts without effort. Memory does not need to be summoned. It is already present. Dogs form strong associative memories through repetition. Each repeated experience strengthens the connection between environment and outcome. A space where rest occurred becomes a space that supports rest again. A routine that ended safely becomes easier to settle into the next time. These associations do not fade quickly. Research in animal cognition suggests that dogs retain memories of people, places, and routines over long periods, especially when those memories carry emotional significance. Recognition can occur even after extended absence, without rehearsal or reinforcement. This recognition happens automatically. Dogs do not replay past events. They do not revisit experiences internally. Instead, memory exists as readiness. When a familiar cue appears, the body responds as it has before. This allows behavior to remain simple. A dog entering a familiar room may relax immediately. Muscles loosen. Breathing slows. There is no need to evaluate whether the space is safe. The memory has already been stored. Emotional imprinting plays an important role in this process. Experiences associated with calm tend to reinforce calm responses later. Experiences associated with uncertainty may increase awareness temporarily until new patterns form. Over time, repetition smooths these responses. Memory also helps dogs navigate social relationships. Familiar individuals are recognized not just by appearance, but by scent, voice, and movement patterns. These cues trigger stored associations that guide interaction without conscious decision-making. This allows social behavior to feel natural. Dogs remember routines particularly well. Daily sequences become embedded through repeated exposure. The order of events matters more than exact timing. When familiar sequences begin, the body prepares automatically. This preparation does not create anticipation in the human sense. It creates alignment. Associative memory supports survival by reducing uncertainty. When the environment behaves as expected, the dog does not need to remain alert. Energy can be conserved. Calm becomes sustainable. This is why dogs often appear comfortable waiting. Waiting does not mean nothing is happening. Memory is maintaining orientation. The dog knows what usually comes next. Memory also shapes how dogs respond to change. New environments require the formation of new associations. During this period, awareness increases. Once patterns repeat, memory takes over and ease returns. Adjustment replaces vigilance. Dogs do not dwell on what has passed. Once an experience ends, it no longer occupies attention. The memory remains stored, ready to be activated by context rather than by thought. This prevents accumulation. There is no internal narrative to maintain. Because memory operates through association rather than abstraction, dogs are free from extended emotional carryover. When a situation resolves, the associated state fades. Calm returns as soon as the environment stabilizes. This simplicity supports regulation. Memory does not weigh on the dog. It supports the dog. In shared living spaces, this form of memory allows dogs to integrate smoothly into human routines. Familiar patterns guide behavior without instruction. The dog does not need reminders. The body remembers. Over time, this creates a sense of continuity. The dog's experience of the world feels cohesive rather than fragmented. Each moment connects naturally to the next through stored association. Memory provides structure without tension. Dogs do not measure memory in terms of importance. They do not rank experiences or revisit them unnecessarily. Each association exists quietly, activated only when relevant. This selective activation keeps awareness light. A dog resting calmly nearby is supported by memory, even in stillness. Familiar scents, sounds, and rhythms reinforce the sense that everything is as it should be. Nothing needs to be recalled. Nothing needs to be reviewed. Memory operates beneath awareness, allowing the dog to remain present without effort. In this way, memory does not pull dogs backward. It keeps them oriented forward. And because association replaces rumination, the past never overwhelms the present, allowing calm to return again and again as easily as breath. Early experiences shape how dogs move through the world. Quietly, lastingly. From a young age, dogs begin forming associations that influence how their bodies respond to people, spaces, and routines later in life. These early patterns do not operate as memories that are recalled. They exist as tendencies, shaping comfort and awareness beneath conscious attention. In the earliest weeks of life, puppies are especially sensitive to their surroundings. During this period, the nervous system is rapidly organizing. Sensory input, social contact, and environmental stability all contribute to how the body learns to regulate itself. This learning happens without intention. Repeated exposure to gentle handling, familiar sounds, and consistent presence allows the body to recognize safety as a baseline condition. When early environments remain steady, regulation becomes easier. Calm does not need to be learned later. It is already familiar. These early impressions do not disappear as dogs grow. They settle into the background, influencing posture, attention, and response patterns over time. A dog raised in predictable environments may show ease in similar conditions years later, even without recognizing why. Imprinting operates through repetition rather than understanding. Experiences that occur during early development tend to carry more weight because the nervous system is still forming its reference points. The body learns what is normal, what is tolerable, and what requires attention. Once these references are established, they guide responses automatically. This does not mean early experiences fix behavior permanently. Dogs remain adaptable. New patterns can form at any stage of life. But early impressions often influence how quickly the body settles when encountering familiar situations. Early environments also shape how dogs relate to others. Social exposure during development allows the nervous system to recognize proximity as safe rather than demanding. Dogs accustomed to gentle presence early on often carry that ease into adulthood. This ease appears as steadiness rather than enthusiasm. Dogs raised with consistent rhythms often show smoother transitions between activity and rest. The body recognizes when to move and when to settle without needing external cues. These transitions occur naturally, guided by internal regulation rather than conscious choice. Imprinting also affects sensory tolerance. Early exposure to varied but non-threatening sounds, textures, and movements allows the sensory system to integrate information without overload. The dog learns to register input without reacting strongly. This integration supports calm awareness. When early experiences include unpredictability, the body may remain more alert until new patterns repeat. Over time, repetition can soften these responses. The nervous system adapts as it learns that stability can exist beyond early conditions. Adaptation replaces vigilance. Importantly, imprinting does not operate through thought or memory in the human sense. Dogs do not revisit early experiences. The influence remains indirect, shaping how the body responds in similar contexts later on. This influence remains quiet. Dogs are not comparing past and present. They are responding to what feels familiar. Because imprinting operates beneath awareness, it often appears invisible. A dog's ease or hesitation may seem unconnected to current circumstances. In reality, the body is drawing on patterns established long ago. These patterns guide posture, breathing, and attention without instruction. In familiar environments, imprinting supports rest. The body recognizes cues associated with early calm and allows muscles to relax. The nervous system does not need to evaluate safety repeatedly. It has already learned what to expect. This efficiency conserves energy. Early experiences also influence how dogs respond to change. Dogs with strong early exposure to varied environments may adjust more quickly to new situations. The nervous system recognizes novelty without treating it as threat. Change becomes manageable. Over time, imprinting and memory work together. Early impressions provide the foundation. Later experiences refine and adjust responses. Together, they create a flexible system that supports regulation across changing environments. This system does not require reinforcement through effort. It continues on its own. A dog resting quietly is supported by these early patterns, even when nothing is happening. Familiar sensations reinforce the sense that the environment is complete. The body remains settled without needing to check or confirm. There is no awareness of learning taking place. Only the result remains. Early experiences do not define a dog's future in rigid terms. They provide a starting point. From there, repetition, familiarity, and steady presence allow regulation to deepen over time. This gradual shaping creates consistency. The dog does not need to remember how it learned to feel at ease. The body simply responds. In this way, imprinting becomes part of the background of experience, quietly guiding behavior, supporting calm, and allowing rest to return easily when the environment offers familiar signals once again. Dogs chew for many reasons. None of them are abstract. Chewing is a natural behavior rooted in biology rather than intention. It appears early in life and continues in varied forms throughout adulthood. The act itself is simple, yet it serves several overlapping functions that support regulation, exploration, and physical balance. At a basic level, chewing provides sensory feedback. The jaw contains a high concentration of nerve endings, making it especially responsive to pressure and movement. When a dog chews, this feedback travels quickly through the nervous system, creating a steady stream of physical sensation. This sensation is grounding. Chewing also supports jaw health. Movement strengthens muscles and maintains coordination. The repetitive motion helps regulate tension in the face and neck, allowing the body to release small accumulations of strain without conscious effort. This release does not require emotional context. It happens automatically. From an evolutionary perspective, chewing played a role in survival. Processing food, breaking down material, and interacting with objects required strong, responsive jaws. These functions shaped a system where chewing became closely tied to physical engagement with the environment. That system remains active. Chewing also supports exploration. Dogs investigate the world not only through sight and scent, but through touch. The mouth provides detailed information about texture, density, and resistance. Objects encountered through chewing are not being tested for value. They are being understood. This understanding is sensory, not cognitive. For puppies, chewing supports development. As teeth emerge and change, chewing provides relief and helps coordinate movement. The nervous system learns the limits of pressure and control through repetition. These early patterns persist. In adult dogs, chewing often appears during periods of calm rather than agitation. A dog may chew quietly while resting or settling into a familiar space. The behavior does not signal restlessness. It supports regulation by maintaining steady sensory input. This steadiness helps the body remain balanced. Chewing can also accompany transitions. After activity, chewing may appear as the body shifts toward rest. The rhythmic motion provides continuity, smoothing the transition without interruption. Rhythm supports ease. Humans sometimes interpret chewing as misbehavior because it involves objects and movement. From the dog's perspective, the behavior has no moral quality. It is neither good nor bad. It simply reflects a biological need being met. Chewing does not require justification. It does not need to lead anywhere. The type of object chewed often matters less than the act itself. Texture, resistance, and size influence the sensory experience, but the underlying function remains consistent. The body responds to pressure and repetition, regardless of the object's identity. Over time, dogs learn which objects provide familiar sensory feedback. This familiarity supports predictability, allowing the body to settle more easily during chewing. Familiarity reduces uncertainty. Chewing also interacts with emotional regulation. Research in animal behavior suggests that repetitive oral activity can support calm by activating neural pathways associated with soothing and self-regulation. This does not mean chewing removes emotion. It helps prevent accumulation. Energy is redirected gently. Dogs do not chew to relieve stress in the human sense. They chew to maintain balance. The distinction matters. Balance does not imply tension has occurred. It implies the system is functioning as designed. When chewing ends, the body often returns to stillness naturally. There is no lingering arousal. The behavior resolves itself without escalation. Chewing fades when it is no longer needed. In familiar environments, chewing often becomes quieter and less frequent. The body requires less sensory input when stability is high. The behavior remains available, but it does not dominate attention. Stillness returns easily. A dog chewing quietly nearby is not disengaged from the environment. Awareness remains present. The body is simply maintaining equilibrium through motion. This motion does not compete with rest, it supports it. Chewing exists alongside calm, not in opposition to it. The jaw moves. The body settles. Awareness remains broad. Nothing needs to be corrected. Nothing needs to be interpreted. Chewing is not a problem to solve. It is a process the body already understands. And when the need passes, the motion slows, the object is released, and the dog returns to stillness, carrying the same ease forward without effort or reflection. Dogs move with practiced efficiency, even when they are not trying to. Movement in dogs is shaped by anatomy refined over long periods of adaptation. Bones, joints, muscles, and spine work together, to create a gait that balances stability and flexibility. Each step transfers weight smoothly, allowing motion to continue without interruption. This coordination is automatic. Dogs do not think about how they walk. The nervous system manages movement without conscious control. Patterns established early in life guide motion through repetition rather than instruction. Different breeds move differently. Limb length, body proportion, and spinal structure influence stride and posture. Some dogs move with long, reaching steps. Others display shorter, more compact motion. Despite these differences, the underlying goal remains the same: efficiency. Energy is conserved whenever possible. The spine plays a central role in canine movement. Its flexibility allows force to travel through the body, rather than remaining isolated in the limbs. This reduces strain on joints and supports endurance over distance. Even during slow movement, the spine contributes to balance. As dogs move, their bodies remain aligned. The head stays level. The tail adjusts subtly. Muscles engage only as much as needed. This economy of motion allows dogs to transition easily between activity and rest. There is no excess effort. Walking, trotting, and running each involve distinct gait patterns. These patterns shift naturally based on speed and terrain. The nervous system selects the most efficient pattern without conscious awareness. The body adapts moment by moment. Dogs also adjust movement based on environment. On uneven surfaces, stride shortens. On open ground, it lengthens. These adjustments happen smoothly, without hesitation. Balance remains central. In familiar environments, movement often becomes slower and more relaxed. The dog does not need to navigate unknown obstacles or assess terrain continuously. Familiarity reduces the need for vigilance, allowing motion to soften. This softening supports calm. Dogs resting between movements often return to the same positions repeatedly. These postures support balance and comfort. Rising and settling occur with minimal adjustment, reflecting familiarity with the body's own mechanics. The body knows where it belongs. Movement also supports regulation. Gentle motion can help redistribute energy, preventing restlessness from accumulating. After movement, stillness becomes easier to maintain. This cycle does not require planning. It unfolds naturally. Dogs rarely rush without reason. Even when moving quickly, their bodies remain coordinated. Acceleration and deceleration occur smoothly, without abrupt stops unless required by the environment. This smoothness protects the system. Breed-specific traits influence movement style, but all dogs share a common foundation. The basic gait patterns are conserved across size and shape. This shared structure reflects evolutionary refinement rather than individual learning. The system works as designed. In domestic settings, dogs often move less than their ancestors did. Despite this, the movement patterns remain intact. When movement occurs, the body responds fully, using established pathways that have not degraded. Efficiency does not disappear. Movement also contributes to sensory integration. As dogs move, feedback from joints and muscles informs the nervous system about position and balance. This feedback helps maintain orientation without conscious thought. The body stays informed. When movement ends, the transition to rest is smooth. Muscles release. Breathing slows. There is no residual tension carried forward. This ability to release is central to canine calm. Dogs do not hold movement in their bodies once it has ended. The system resets quickly, allowing rest to return. Stillness follows motion without effort. In familiar spaces, dogs may move slowly, pausing often. These pauses are not indecision. They reflect a lack of urgency. The body does not need to be anywhere else. Presence replaces purpose. Movement exists to support function, not achievement. When function is complete, motion ends. A dog lying down after moving does not revisit the movement. It does not evaluate performance. The body simply settles. In this way, movement and rest remain balanced, each supporting the other. Motion occurs when needed, ends when complete, and leaves no residue behind. The body returns to stillness as easily as it began to move. Dogs often seek physical contact. This contact appears in simple forms: leaning against a leg, resting a paw nearby, lying close enough for bodies to touch without pressing. These gestures are subtle and unremarkable, yet they carry biological significance rooted in regulation rather than emotion. Physical contact provides information. When a dog rests against another body, pressure is distributed gently across the skin and muscles. This pressure sends steady sensory signals through the nervous system. The signals are not stimulating. They are grounding. Grounding supports balance. Dogs evolved as social animals. Proximity to others allowed for shared warmth, protection, and coordination. Over time, the body learned to associate gentle contact with safety. This association remains present even in modern environments where survival no longer depends on it. Contact does not demand attention. It simply exists. Dogs do not require constant touch to benefit from it. Brief contact is often enough. A moment of leaning, followed by stillness. A short pause beside another body. These interactions do not escalate. They resolve themselves naturally. The body absorbs the information and settles. Pressure also supports co-regulation. When two bodies remain still together, their rhythms often align. Breathing slows, movement decreases, awareness softens. This alignment does not require intention or awareness from either participant. It happens automatically. Dogs resting near humans often choose positions that allow for shared contact without constraint. The body remains free to move if needed. There is no trapping or holding. Contact remains optional. Optional contact supports ease. Dogs rarely demand physical closeness. When contact is sought, it tends to be quiet and non-intrusive. A dog may rest against someone without looking at them or requesting interaction. The presence itself is enough. This differs from attention-seeking behavior. Contact for regulation does not require response. Physical proximity also supports orientation. Feeling another body provides spatial information. The dog remains aware of where others are without needing to look or listen actively. This reduces uncertainty, allowing attention to remain broad rather than focused. Touch fills in gaps left by other senses. In familiar environments, dogs often choose the same resting positions repeatedly. These positions reflect comfort with shared proximity. The body recognizes these spots as stable and returns to them without deliberation. Familiarity reinforces calm. Dogs also use contact to regulate transitions. After activity, resting near another body may help the nervous system settle. The steady presence provides continuity as movement gives way to stillness. Transition becomes smooth. Dogs do not interpret contact symbolically. They are not expressing affection in the human sense. The contact does not represent meaning beyond the physical experience itself. Pressure, warmth, and presence are enough. The experience is immediate. This biological framing explains why dogs may accept contact at some times and not others. The need for regulation changes based on environment and internal state. When regulation is already sufficient, contact may not be sought. Absence of contact is not rejection. It is completion. Dogs also respond to human contact through pressure rather than motion. Gentle, steady touch is more regulating than rapid movement. This mirrors how dogs interact with one another, using stillness rather than action to maintain balance. Stillness communicates safety. Over time, dogs living closely with humans incorporate human bodies into their sense of environmental stability. Presence becomes familiar. Touch becomes part of the background rather than an event. This background support allows rest to deepen. A dog lying quietly with part of its body touching another is not asking for attention. It is maintaining equilibrium. When contact ends, there is no loss. The nervous system remains regulated. The experience does not need to be prolonged. Contact is not stored or revisited. It serves its function and passes. In this way, physical contact supports calm without creating dependence. It offers reassurance without demand. It exists as part of shared space rather than as interaction. The dog remains whole, with or without it. And when bodies rest nearby, touching lightly, nothing needs to be exchanged. Regulation occurs quietly, allowing both stillness and awareness to continue without interruption. Dogs can rest without disconnecting. Their bodies relax. Awareness remains. This state appears often. A dog lies down, eyes partially closed or open without focus. Breathing slows. Muscles release. From the outside, it looks like sleep or near sleep. Internally, sensory systems remain gently active. This balance is natural. Dogs move easily between levels of rest and awareness. They do not drop abruptly into unconsciousness unless the environment allows it. Instead, they pass through light states where rest and perception overlap. This overlap supports safety without tension. In these states, the nervous system reduces effort rather than shutting down. The body remains prepared without being alert. Sounds, scents, and subtle movement are still registered, but they do not demand response. Information arrives quietly. Light sleep states allow dogs to remain oriented while resting. The brain continues to process environmental signals at a low level. Familiar inputs are filtered out. Only meaningful changes rise toward awareness. This filtering prevents disruption. Dogs resting in familiar environments often cycle through these states repeatedly. Brief moments of deeper rest alternate with lighter awareness. The transitions are smooth and unremarkable. There is no struggle to stay asleep. There is no effort to wake. The body adjusts automatically. This pattern developed as a survival advantage. Remaining partially aware allowed dogs to respond to changes without losing rest entirely. Energy could be conserved while maintaining connection to the surroundings. The system remains efficient. In domestic settings, this state persists even when threats are absent. The nervous system continues to use what it knows. Familiar sounds, scents, and rhythms reassure the body that rest can continue. Reassurance does not require thought. Dogs do not monitor their awareness. They do not decide how alert to be. The body selects the level that fits the environment. When the environment is steady, awareness softens. Dogs resting near others often display this state. Eyes may track movement briefly, then settle again. Ears may shift slightly, then relax. These adjustments happen without interrupting rest. Stillness remains dominant. This form of rest does not produce grogginess. When movement is needed, the dog rises smoothly. There is no disorientation. Awareness has been present all along. This continuity reduces stress. Dogs do not resist rest because they do not fear losing awareness. Rest does not mean vulnerability. It means balance. This balance allows rest to arrive easily. The posture adopted during rest also supports awareness. Dogs often curl or lie in positions that allow quick adjustment. Limbs remain accessible. The spine stays flexible. These postures are not defensive. They are practical. Practicality supports ease. In familiar spaces, dogs may rest for long periods without fully sleeping. Time passes without emphasis. There is no internal clock demanding activity. The environment sets the pace. Humans sometimes interpret this as boredom. From the dog's perspective, nothing is missing. Awareness is present. The body is regulated. There is no need to fill the space. Resting awareness also supports emotional stability. Because dogs do not disconnect completely, transitions remain gentle. Waking does not bring abrupt arousal. Calm carries forward. This reduces accumulation. Dogs do not carry tension forward from rest. The system resets naturally. Even during deeper sleep, dogs can surface quickly if needed. The brain remains capable of shifting states without confusion. Familiar cues guide the transition. The process is smooth. When rest ends, it ends cleanly. Dogs do not linger between states. They do not resist waking. They do not chase sleep. Each state completes itself. In this way, rest and awareness coexist without conflict. Neither needs to dominate. The body remains responsive while remaining at ease. A dog resting quietly is not absent. It is present without effort. Awareness does not require alertness. Rest does not require disconnection. Both exist together, supporting a steady internal state that allows time to pass without urgency and experience to remain simple. And as long as the environment remains familiar, this balance continues on its own, allowing rest to deepen and awareness to soften. Dogs respond to human emotion without interpreting it. They register patterns. They adjust. This response does not rely on understanding feelings in a symbolic sense. Dogs do not identify emotions as concepts. Instead, they detect changes in tone, posture, movement, and rhythm. These signals provide information about the environment, allowing the dog's nervous system to adjust accordingly. Emotion becomes data. Human emotion alters the environment in measurable ways. Voice pitch shifts. Movement patterns change. Breathing becomes faster or slower. These changes are perceptible to dogs, often before they are noticed consciously by people themselves. Dogs respond to these cues automatically. The canine nervous system is sensitive to changes in social atmosphere. When the environment becomes more tense, awareness increases. When the environment settles, the body releases tension. This process mirrors how dogs respond to changes in weather, sound, or movement. No judgment is involved. Dogs do not assign meaning to emotion beyond its immediate effect. They do not assume intention or cause. They simply respond to what is present. This simplicity allows responses to resolve quickly. Research in animal behavior suggests that dogs can experience emotional contagion, where the emotional state of one individual influences another without conscious mediation. This does not mean dogs adopt human emotion. It means their nervous systems adjust in parallel. Parallel adjustment supports cohesion. In shared spaces, this alignment allows dogs to remain synchronized with the people around them. When activity increases, awareness rises. When activity slows, the dog settles. The process does not require attention or instruction. It happens continuously. Dogs are particularly responsive to tone of voice. The emotional quality of sound carries more information than the words themselves. Calm tones support calm states. Abrupt or elevated tones may increase awareness briefly. The response remains proportional. Dogs also respond to posture and movement. A person moving slowly and predictably creates a different environment than one moving quickly or erratically. Dogs register these differences without analysis. The body adapts. This sensitivity does not imply vulnerability. Dogs are not absorbing emotion in a way that overwhelms them. Their responses remain bounded by context. When the environment returns to stability, their nervous systems reset. There is no accumulation. Dogs do not carry emotional residue forward once the environment changes. A moment of tension passes when the cues that created it pass. Calm reasserts itself naturally. This prevents lingering stress. In familiar environments, dogs often respond less strongly to emotional variation. Repetition creates predictability. The nervous system learns that fluctuations occur and resolve without consequence. Familiarity buffers reaction. Dogs living closely with humans learn individual patterns. Each person's typical tone, movement, and rhythm becomes familiar. Deviations are noticed, but they do not necessarily create alarm. Recognition moderates response. Dogs do not attempt to soothe human emotion. When they remain nearby during emotional moments, they are responding to environmental shifts rather than offering comfort in the human sense. Their presence reflects regulation rather than intention. Presence is not intervention. A dog resting near a person experiencing emotion is not diagnosing the situation. The dog is adjusting its state to match the environment. If the environment remains calm enough, the dog remains calm as well. If the environment shifts, awareness adjusts briefly. Dogs also influence human emotion through the same process. Their calm presence alters tone, movement, and rhythm in shared space. This mutual adjustment does not require awareness from either side. Co-regulation emerges naturally. This interaction does not depend on emotional complexity. It depends on biological responsiveness. Both nervous systems respond to shared cues and settle when those cues stabilize. Dogs do not reflect on emotional exchanges. They do not interpret outcomes. They do not anticipate future emotion. Each moment stands alone. Because of this, dogs often return to rest quickly after emotional fluctuations in the environment. Once cues return to baseline, regulation follows. The system resets cleanly. Dogs do not hold space for emotion. They exist within it. And when the environment becomes quiet again, their bodies follow, allowing awareness to soften and rest to return, without effort or memory of what passed before. Dogs feel steady because their attention remains close to the present. They do not move far ahead of what is happening. They do not return repeatedly to what has already passed. Their nervous systems are designed to respond to immediate conditions and then release them once those conditions change. This pattern creates emotional simplicity, not because dogs lack depth, but because their processing remains efficient. When something occurs, the body responds. When it ends, the response ends. There is no internal extension. Dogs do not rehearse possibilities. They do not imagine outcomes beyond what is currently unfolding. Awareness remains tied to what is observable through the senses. This keeps emotional states brief and proportional. Steadiness emerges naturally from this limitation. The canine nervous system completes response cycles quickly. A stimulus appears. The body adjusts. Once the stimulus resolves, the system returns to baseline without delay. This prevents accumulation. Nothing is carried forward unnecessarily. In contrast to human cognition, which often layers meaning onto experience, dogs remain grounded in direct sensation. Sound, scent, movement, and proximity define experience moment to moment. When these inputs remain familiar, the internal state remains calm. Familiarity anchors steadiness. Dogs do not evaluate their internal state. They do not ask whether they feel calm or unsettled. They simply exist within the state that matches the environment. This lack of self-monitoring reduces tension. Because dogs do not ruminate, emotional states do not linger beyond relevance. A sudden sound may briefly increase awareness. Once the sound ends, the body releases the response. Calm returns immediately if the environment allows. There is no effort involved. Steadiness also arises from predictable regulation. Dogs respond in consistent ways to consistent cues. Over time, these responses become refined. The nervous system learns what deserves attention and what does not. This learning stabilizes experience. Dogs are not indifferent to change. They notice it, but they do not elaborate on it. Once change is understood as non-threatening, awareness softens again. Resolution is quick. Because of this, dogs often appear emotionally balanced. They are not suppressing reaction. They are completing it. This completion allows the next moment to arrive without interference. Steadiness also reflects energy conservation. By avoiding unnecessary emotional extension, dogs preserve physical and mental resources. This efficiency supports rest, awareness, and responsiveness without exhaustion. The system remains light. Dogs do not interpret calm as a goal. Calm is simply the absence of demand. When nothing requires response, calm appears. There is no pursuit. In shared environments, this steadiness becomes contagious. A dog at rest influences the pace of the space around it. Movement slows, voices soften, attention becomes less fragmented, not through intention, through presence. Dogs do not attempt to stabilize others. Their steadiness exists independently. Others adjust naturally when sharing the space. This mutual regulation requires no communication. Steadiness is also supported by bodily cues. Relaxed posture, steady breathing, and minimal tension reinforce internal balance. These cues feed back into the nervous system, maintaining equilibrium without conscious control. Body and brain remain aligned. When dogs rest, they rest fully. When they move fully. There is little overlap. This clarity prevents conflict between states. Rest is not interrupted by anticipation. Movement is not slowed by hesitation. Each state stands alone. Dogs do not seek meaning in their steadiness. They do not question it. They do not try to preserve it. When the environment changes, steadiness adapts. When the environment stabilizes, steadiness returns. This flexibility keeps the system resilient. Over time, this pattern creates an impression of constant balance. In reality, balance is being restored again and again, quietly and efficiently. Nothing dramatic occurs. A dog lying calmly nearby is not holding on to peace. Peace has simply returned. And because the system is designed to release as easily as it responds, steadiness remains available whenever the environment allows it, without memory, effort, or intention. Dogs become part of daily life without drawing attention to themselves. Over time, their presence blends into the background of a space. They move through familiar rooms. They rest in familiar places. Their bodies occupy areas that no longer feel separate from the environment itself. This integration happens gradually. Dogs do not assert their presence. They do not announce themselves. They remain nearby, available without demand. Their movements become predictable. Their resting places remain consistent. Familiarity replaces novelty. In shared spaces, dogs often position themselves where they can observe without interfering. A spot near a doorway, a place along a wall, a location where movement can be noticed without being followed. These choices are practical rather than symbolic. The body chooses what feels stable. As presence becomes familiar, it requires less attention. A dog lying quietly does not interrupt thought or activity. The space feels complete rather than occupied. This completeness supports calm. Dogs do not seek to be the focus of a room. When they are present, nothing needs to change. Their stillness does not demand interaction. Their movement does not require response. They exist alongside activity rather than within it. Over time, the nervous system of those sharing the space adjusts. Familiar presence becomes part of the baseline environment. Sounds, scents, and subtle movements register as expected rather than noteworthy. Expectation reduces vigilance. Dogs resting nearby often mirror the rhythm of the space. When activity slows, they slow. When movement increases, they adjust position briefly and then settle again. These adjustments happen without engagement. The dog remains part of the flow. This presence does not rely on emotional exchange. Dogs are not offering companionship in the human sense. They are maintaining proximity as part of social equilibrium. Proximity does not require meaning. The body recognizes shared space as safe. In daily routines, dogs often appear during transitions, moving from room to room, settling as activity ends. These appearances are not requests. They are alignment with environmental change. Alignment supports continuity. Because dogs do not narrate their experience, their presence remains simple. They do not reflect on being there. They do not anticipate absence. Each moment stands on its own. This simplicity keeps presence light. Dogs also do not interpret absence dramatically. When others leave a room, the dog may remain. The environment still feels complete. Familiar cues persist through scent, sound, and memory. Absence does not break continuity. Over time, the presence of a dog can feel less like an addition and more like a constant. The space is understood to include the dog, just as it includes furniture, light, and air. Nothing needs to be acknowledged. This quiet coexistence supports regulation. The nervous system adapts to shared presence and releases the need to monitor it. Attention broadens. The environment feels settled. Dogs do not fill space. They become part of it. Their presence does not ask to be noticed. It allows attention to rest elsewhere without concern. When dogs move, they do so briefly. When they stop fully. The rhythm remains consistent. This consistency reinforces calm. A dog lying quietly nearby does not interrupt thought. It does not demand feeling. It remains present in the simplest way possible. And as familiarity deepens, presence becomes something that no longer registers as separate. It is simply there, steady and unremarkable, allowing awareness to soften and time to pass without emphasis. Dogs continue to exist without emphasis. Their behaviors do not resolve into meaning. They do not arrive at lessons. They do not point toward outcomes. They remain present in the same way they always have. A dog lies where it usually lies, moves when it needs to move, stops when movement is complete. Nothing about this needs explanation. The body settles because the environment allows it. Awareness softens because nothing demands it. There is no moment where this becomes important. Dogs do not hold attention. They release it. Their stillness does not ask to be noticed. It remains whether it is seen or not. Familiar posture, familiar breathing, familiar weight resting into the floor. Time continues without marking itself. There is no signal that something has ended. No change in tone, no shift in direction. Only continuation. A dog resting nearby does not conclude anything. It does not complete a thought. It does not close a story. It simply remains as it was, part of the environment rather than an object within it. Presence becomes background. The body does not wait for the next moment. It occupies this one fully. Awareness stays broad, not focused, not withdrawn, just open enough to register what passes. Sound moves through the space and leaves. Air shifts and settles again. Nothing accumulates. The dog does not follow these changes. It does not track them. They pass without being held. Rest continues without effort. There is no need for adjustment. No need for reassurance. The nervous system remains quiet because it has no reason not to be. Familiar scents remain. Familiar surfaces support weight. Familiar rhythms repeat without variation. This sameness does not become dull. It becomes stable. The dog does not experience time as something to move through. Time moves on its own. The body stays where it is. Eyes may open. Eyes may close. Neither state interrupts the other. Awareness does not sharpen. Rest does not deepen. Both remain balanced. There is no final image to hold on to. No thought to return to. Only the continuation of what was already present. The dog does not signal completion. It does not withdraw. It does not arrive anywhere new. It remains. And as it remains, nothing else needs to be carried forward.